To all of our new students, welcome to the University of Tokyo. On behalf of the entire faculty and staff, I offer my warmest congratulations. On this milestone day, as you begin your studies here, I would like to share the following 3 thoughts with you. First of all, I urge each of you to contemplate your role as a global citizen. Ask yourself, what can I do to contribute to a sustainable planet and to human society? Humanity faces a myriad of global challenges, including wars, terrorism, infectious diseases, and climate change. Here at UTokyo, we pursue truth in a spirit of academic freedom. As you deepen your expertise in your chosen field, I encourage you to engage in meaningful dialogue with people of all kinds, keeping in mind how what you study can help to address the complex issues confronting humanity. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, issues reports prepared through collaboration among thousands of researchers in the natural and social sciences from around the world. Those IPCC reports have become essential guidance for policymakers in many countries. They serve as the foundation for international agreements, such as the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, as well as each country's domestic policies. The Paris Agreement that took effect in 2016 aims to hold the increase in the global average temperature to well below 2 degrees Celsius, above pre-industrial levels. In fact, to try to keep the temperature increase to no more than 1.5 degrees above those levels. That ambitious target was based on the 6th assessment report issued by the IPCC. Another important concept that has emerged recently is planetary health. By emphasizing the connections of the Earth's environment with the health of people, it seeks to safeguard the well-being of our entire planet. The IPCC's latest summary for policymakers following the assessment report highlights several pressing issues in that regard. One is that about 3.3 to 3.6 billion people are vulnerable to human-induced climate change. It also stresses the need for better understanding of how human health is impacted by pollution, biodiversity loss, and other changes to the global environment. As tropical rainforests shrink, and as people come into more contact with wildlife, we face growing danger from infectious diseases. That threat is made worse by the faster and more global movement of people and goods. At the same time, that IPCC summary for policymakers emphasizes the need for carbon neutrality in the healthcare sector, which currently accounts for between 4 and 5% of total carbon dioxide emission. So the challenges we face are complex, with causes and effects intertwined, making it difficult to implement solutions without making other problems worse. As you use the resources of the University of Tokyo to pursue your goals, I hope you will remember that the power to shape a sustainable society lies in your hands. Now for my second point, I encourage you to enjoy building friendships with people in other majors and fields. During your journey at UTokyo, you will sometimes face major challenges. When confronting problems, please remember the importance and the pleasure of engaging in open dialogue with your peers across the disciplinary boundaries. In January of this year, the Smart Lander for Investigating Moon, or SLIM, managed to make a pinpoint landing on the lunar surface. The spacecraft was developed in Japan with significant contributions from UTokyo. It even survived the 2 weeks long cold lunar night with temperatures as low as minus 170 degrees Celsius without a heater. Behind SLIM's success was close collaboration and competition between experts in science and engineering. The scientists prioritized the scientific value of the spacecraft's observations more than the technical feasibility, while the engineers focused on safety and practicality. For example, scientists wanted a landing site near a crater so that they could observe rocks derived from the moon's mantle, which had more meaning for science. In contrast, the engineers preferred to land in a less rocky area, which would be safer. Unlike major international missions, which often put safety above all, SLIM's unique strength lies in how the science and engineering teams together pushed the boundaries of what was possible. Their collaboration resulted in a landing with unprecedented precision at a site of great scientific value. Even among the engineers, there had been different views between the experts from the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, or JAXA, and the technicians working for private companies. It is just such synergy among colleagues with diverse viewpoints that often leads to breakthroughs in cutting-edge research and development. Collaboration beyond the natural sciences can also be essential. On April 30th, a ceremony was held in Santiago, Chile, to mark the completion of the telescope site for the University of Tokyo Atacama Observatory. That observatory, called TAO, is located 5,640 meters above sea level on the summit of Cerro Chacnantol in Chile. It is the highest astronomical observatory on Earth. At that altitude, there is less water vapor in the upper atmosphere, so blocking infrared radiation from space. So it is ideal for the advanced observations to explore the origins of the planets, galaxies, and entire universe. TAO can capture 8 times more infrared light than Japan's Subaru telescope, which is located at about 4,200 meters on Mauna Kea in Hawaii. The construction of the observatory in Chile has faced many challenges. One of the most important things was building strong relationships with the local community. 26 years passed from when the project was first proposed by Emeritus Professor Yuzuru Yoshii of our Faculty of Science. Cerro Chafnantol is a sacred mountain for the local people. So we could not just use the land as we wanted to build the observatory. We also had to earn the community's understanding and cooperation. We navigated many hurdles, including getting approval for the construction from the Chilean government, which respects the rights and opinions of indigenous peoples. Cooperating with local universities on technical matters, negotiating with the Chilean Ministry of Health about work safety at the high altitude site, and building relationships with private companies. Most important of all was establishing trust with the people who live in that area. We follow local customs, including performing a ritual at the start of construction to appease the land's spirits. That careful and respectful communication has fostered warm understanding and cooperation. So my second point about the importance of building connections with people from diverse backgrounds includes establishing trust with the people who live in the communities where we work. My third point is this. As students at UTokyo, you are free to study many things, including the natural world, humans, and human society, and what people have created. From your unique perspective, I urge you to think about how you can contribute to building and maintaining the global commons. That is, the resources and environments that are shared by humanity throughout the world. Research and development often intersect with the realm of politics, economy, and society. The discovery of electromagnetic waves in physics led to new tools for observation, and the development of wireless communication and radar has made our lives more convenient. At the same time, though, those advances have also fueled the development of technology for electronic warfare, leading to an international arms race. As global space exploration expands from the moon to Mars, it enables science to advance and it extends human frontiers. But it also raises unresolved political issues about what the idea of commons means beyond the Earth. The International Council of Scientific Unions was created in 1931, now called the International Council for Science. The organization was the driving force behind the International Geophysical Year. That global research project began in July 1957 and focused on a dozen broad areas of science. The initiative aimed to expand worldwide collaboration in polar research, which had begun in the 1880s. Following the launch of the world's first artificial satellite in October 1957, the United Nations set up the Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space. That committee has advocated for freedom to explore and use outer space, and it has played a central role in promoting the ideals of the peaceful use of space. However, the Outer Space Treaty, which was adopted by the UN General Assembly in 1966, is now criticized for its weaknesses in addressing the realities of the 21st century, where not only national governments, but also private companies are increasingly involved in space development. The ideal of a global commons can be fundamentally undermined by the notion of first come, first served. That is, claiming ownership of uncharted territory by planting a flag there. Even resources and places that can be sustainably managed through common efforts might be tragically degraded and depleted if individuals overexploit them through self-interest. So we need to remember the history of the Antarctic Treaty. That treaty emerged from international collaboration among scientists in polar observations. And it was rooted in the principle of freedom of scientific investigation. The treaty froze all territorial claims in the Antarctic, prohibited any military use, and established the procedures for consultation on issues that would arise. As you can see from this, just freezing territorial claims is not a complete solution. So today, if we are to establish outer space as a new commons for humanity, a new legal framework and many other issues need to be worked out. We have reached a crucial point now. We need to reaffirm our commitment to making outer space a new commons for all of humanity. Crucial to this endeavor will be two ideals emphasized in UTokyo Compass, the document that explains the guiding principles of our university: dialogue and diversity and inclusion in both principle and practice. The University of Tokyo welcomes from throughout Japan and around the world people with diverse identities, including all of you joining us today. We celebrate diversity in gender, age, background, nationality, experience, physical characteristics, values and beliefs, employment status, work styles, family structures, and other characteristics. To foster mutual understanding and coexistence among such a diversity of people, we must first gain a deep understanding of each other. To overcome differences of opinion and find creative solutions, we must recognize and relativize the unconscious assumptions that shape and restrict our perceptions and perspectives. We must confront our biases critically and assess whether they are reasonable or not. The University of Tokyo Charter states that our mission is to serve the global public. Today, it is a great pleasure to welcome you into our community, into an institution that embraces diversity and inclusion, into a university dedicated to pursuit of truth and based on the principles of academic freedom. As you develop your expertise in your chosen fields, I encourage you to also cultivate a global perspective, a strong moral compass, and the tenacity to put your ideas into practice. Finally, I also urge you to hone your ability to ask questions, as questions are the essential starting point for meaningful dialogue. Once again, congratulations to you all